Hello, 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 and welcome, Reiki Studio. My name is Kathy Milanowski, and I'm your host and moderator for Reiki Studio. Reiki Studio was developed by me to empower your life journey, whatever it may be. Each month, we have two live interactions in Reiki Studio, and it's the panelists. This is a group of individuals that step forth and feel like talking and expressing and even teaching you their knowledge about a certain subject that we all choose to use. So, with this said, this month was in December is Sacred Sounds. We learned a couple weeks ago from some panelists that how just the basic parts of sound healing. As you hear this beautiful choir in the background of my church, it's 6 o'clock in Wisconsin, and so we learned a little bit about sacred sounds and just a little bit of the history of it, and then we went into understanding that it's all around us. Just like you hear these beautiful bells and the church makes, and just the wind, the nature, everything around us, outside of us, there's noises that help heal us and give us healing frequencies. And then we talked about toning and chanting our inner voice and how sacred that is and how that can heal so many things within us and outside of us. And so this time, I'm very thrilled that we're going to have a sound oracle today. And Miss Luna Lynn, Frey, I met her about 8 years ago, and she has introduced me to sound. It's something that you are all going to be experiencing with this event, and it's a very special event for me too because of that. And it changed my life. It started me being my own sound practitioner for many years now, and I've been able to work with her. So I'm going to bring out Luna and introduce you to her. If I could get this together. Just here. There we go. All right, Luna.
Hello. I'm very excited to be here and share something that is my heart song, my passion with all of you. So we're going to be doing the chakra toning meditation. So I'd like to talk a little bit about what is sacred sound. Sacred sound is a tool that you can use to open up, connect with spirit and your highest self for healing, alignment, and to really tap into what is your truth. So a little bit about myself and where I came from and how I came to be involved with sacred sound. I had an experience when I was very little, probably between kindergarten and first grade, where I was swimming with some friends in a lake. I didn't realize that it was where the boats took off and there was quite a drop off, and they could swim and I couldn't. And I fell deep into the water. They were much farther out than me, and I drowned. And in that experience, I saw my very short life at that point flash before my eyes. And I went through this fight or flight, terrified moment of panicking. And then there's surrender, where you see every moment that you've lived go through. You live through all those moments. And if there's any time in that time frame that you have regret or there's something you haven't finished, you kind of review that. And then you go into the bliss of the creator of spirit. And in that world, there is only sound and love and bliss and feeling. Um, and then the next thing I knew, I was choking and on the shore, and everybody looked panicked around me because I had been out for some time. But luckily, I was brought back. And then after that, my parents, they decided that they wanted to adopt children, and they adopt the kids that wouldn't have a home otherwise. And they were extremely physically disabled. And my sister in particular would go into these fits of like rage and pain, and she was not able to communicate to us what was wrong. And at that time, I was very into music. I was taking voice lessons, and I would play piano and I would sing, and we would do our vocal exercises, and I would sing particular tones. And after the drowning, I noticed that when I sang particular tones, I could see different colors in her aura, light up. And then later, after kind of playing with that, I noticed that not only did I see that, but when she was in these fits of like rage and pain, when I began to sing, I could see her colors, but I could also start to feel what was going on with her, where her pain was. And I was able to kind of diagnose what she needed, as well as kind of help relieve some of her neurological mayhem that was going on within her. So I played with that for a long time, and I developed kind of my own way of working with sound, intuition, working with it more and more. And I noticed that I could transition noise into sacred sound. And when I connected with my heart and with my voice, I could make changes in myself and those around me. And I know that others can do this. And then as an adult, I ran into some teachers and went through some trainings, and they helped explain and refine and retune what I was doing so that I was more able to assist other people. And so I know that you guys have learned some about sound healing, and there are many tools out there that you can use. I'm sure you went over some of those with tuning forks and singing bowls and drums, and there's particular frequencies that can cause certain effects. But the most powerful tool that exists out there is the human voice. And above that, the most powerful tool there is your own voice. And this knowledge of using our voice to create change within us has been hidden for a long time. It's something in ancient times we all used the power of our own voice to bring ourselves into alignment, to diagnose, to treat, to bring ourselves back into balance. But it's something that we've gotten away from. And we've been disempowered through American Idol and all these vocal competitions where people are judged on whether they're worthy enough to make sound in the world. And so I think we've forgotten intuitively that we can make sacred sound. Sacred sound doesn't matter what it sounds like. It's the intention and the heart behind it that creates the connection. So I'd like to introduce you to the Chakra Toning meditation. This is a meditation that I'm going to walk you through. It is very simple and is absolutely something that you can do on your own. So when we begin with the Chakra Toning meditation, I'm first going to begin with bringing you into your love hologram. Your love hologram is the very first step. It is what brings you into a state of sacred. It connects you to the worlds, and it is what transforms noise into sacred sound. So we'll connect with that first, and then we're going to go through and we're going to tone each chakra, and we're going to bring in color and breath to make that happen. So when we're talking about toning, one thing that I would like to mention is that this is using your voice and holding a note for a prolonged time to create a change in your aura and in your body. It is not a singing competition. It does not matter what sound comes out of your mouth as long as it is done with intention and from love. So whatever sound you make is totally perfect. So we're going to go through each of those, holding them for as long as you can and moving up to the next one. When we do chakra toning in an intuitive way, you're trusting yourself that the right sound coming out is the appropriate sound to attune that chakra, with the intention that you're starting in your lowest range at the root chakra and going up a little with each chakra, up in tone. So everybody's going to have a different sounding root note from everybody else. Nobody's going to have the same root note. So as I'm toning, I invite you to tone along with me, and your note is going to sound much different than mine. Just let whatever intuitively comes out of your mouth come out. That is the perfect sound that you need to make. And you may be able to tone a lot longer or a lot shorter than me. That's fine too. We all have strengths in different parts of our voice and our range that we can work with. Again, it's the intention, not necessarily the sound that comes out. So I want everybody to find a comfortable place in their seat. Get cozy. Another thing I would like to mention is when we're toning with our voice and opening chakras, a couple of things can happen as energy begins to break up and move. Occasionally as you're toning, people will get the tickle in their throat that makes them cough and cough and cough, and your eyes water. If that happens to you, that is absolutely normal. That is how energy breaks up and moves. Hopefully it won't happen to me. If it does, I apologize. Another thing that can happen is stuck energy begins to move, much like when you have a knot in your shoulder and a massage therapist is working out. Sometimes it hurts more before it gets better. The same when you're moving energy around in your field, you may feel a little tension in your back or your legs. And as you continue to tone, it will move out and it will flow through. So if that happens, that's completely natural. Just keep going with it and trust that your intuitive higher self is going to guide you in the right direction. So as you get comfortable, you can have everybody close their eyes. And we're going to first move into our love hologram. And your feet are planted on the floor. And you begin to notice that there is a tube of light, a straw that surrounds you, just a little wider than yourself. And this tube or this straw goes all the way down through the layers of floor, through the basement, through the earth, all the way digging deep, 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 deep into the earth until it plugs into the center of the earth, the heart of the mother. As it plugs into that center, you see it coming all the way back up through those same layers, through the floor, surrounding you, going all the way up through the ceiling, through the sky, through space, until it plugs into the sun, the heart of the Father. And you bring yourself back to this room in the center of those two suns, the earth and the sun above you. You are between those two spaces with your own sun within your heart. And on your next inhales, you're going to breathe in like you're pulling energy from a straw, from the earth and the sun at the same time, pulling in to your own heart, breathing into the heart. You hold the breath in your heart for a moment, picturing something that brings you to unconditional love, whatever that image is, whether it be God, spirit, a pet, a loved one, whatever brings you there. And then as you exhale, you visualize it shooting out of your heart, creating a sphere around you. This sphere is your own Holy Trinity, a combination of the earth, your own heart, and the sun. Create a sacred trio, your own love hologram, your own unique vibration. It is like a giant magnet that draws to you what you are ready to experience while gently repelling what is not for you at the moment. So together, we breathe in to the heart, pulling from both directions, breathing in, hold in the heart, qualifying with unconditional love, and exhale out the heart. Breathing in from both directions into the heart. Hold, qualify, and exhale. Breathing in from earth and sun into the heart. Hold, qualify in the heart. Exhale. With each breath, noticing the sphere around you getting brighter and brighter, more vibrantly your own frequency. Breathing in from both directions into the heart. Spending a few moments in your own rhythm, in your own cadence, coming into your own sphere. Breathing in from sun and earth into your heart. Qualify with unconditional love. Exhale out the heart. from both directions into your heart. Hold and exhale. Both directions into the heart. Hold and exhale. And as we connect together in this virtual space, I want you to imagine that you're in a room and we're all together. Everybody that's joining in now and in the future is together in a sacred space. And we wish to create a love hologram around this whole group. So breathing in again on your next breath, as you exhale out the heart, push it a little farther out beyond your own sphere, helping to create a group sphere. Breathing in from the sun and the earth into your heart. Hold, qualify, exhale, pushing it out to the group sphere. Again, breathing in from both directions into the heart. Hold, qualify, exhale out to the group sphere. One last breath, breathing in from both directions into the heart. Exhale, breathing out to the group sphere. And in the middle of this group sphere that we all sit within, you notice that there's a shaft of golden light that pierces down through the middle of our sphere, going down infinitely in time and space forever, and going up infinitely in time and space forever. With your intention, connect a cord of white light from your heart to this center shaft of gold light in the middle. This connects each of our hearts, heart to heart to heart to heart, in a safe and pure way. And as we begin our chakra toning, I want you to imagine and bring yourself down to that earth chakra. And on your next inhale, you're going to breathe in, pulling the energy up to your root. Exhale the word and as you do, your root chakra opens and clears. Breathing in. On your next breath, back down to the earth chakra, pulling up through that straw, this time to the sacral chakra, where it turns bright orange or green, opens and clears with a tone ooh. Breathing in from the earth up to the sacral. Back down to the earth, breathing in, pulling it up next to the solar plexus, where it turns bright sun gold yellow, opens and clears with O. Breathing in from the earth. Next, we move up to the heart. This time it shifts Just as in the hologram breath, we pull from both directions, the earth and the sun, on our inhale. So we inhale from both directions into the heart. As we tone the word ah, it opens and clears, turning bright green and pink. Breathing in from both directions into the heart. On our next inhale, we shift, moving up just to the sun, pulling our breath down to the third eye, where it opens, clears. To the throat chakra, where it opens, clears, turns bright ocean blue with I. Breathing in from the sun to the throat. Breathing in again from the sun, pulling it down to the third eye, where it turns indigo, opens and clears with A. Breathing in from the sun. Breathing in from the sun, this time down to the crown, where it turns bright indigo and diamond white, opens and clears with E. Breathing into the crown. Inhale. And we go back down to our root, digging deep down into the earth, bringing the energy up with our breath to our root, where it turns deep dark red, opens and clears with ah. Breathing in. Moving up to the sacral, where it turns bright orange and green, opens and clears with ooh. Breathing in from the earth. Ooh. Moving up to the solar plexus, breathing in from the earth, bringing it up, toning O, it turns bright sun gold yellow. Breathing in from the earth. Oh, oh. Now shifting and pulling energy from both directions, both the center of the earth and the sun, into our hearts with our breath, where it turns bright green and pink, opens and clears with ah. Breathing in from both directions. Breathing in from the sun down to the throat, where it turns bright ocean blue, opens and clears with I. Breathing in from the sun. Back up to the sun, bringing the breath down to our third eye, where it opens, clears, turns indigo blue with A. Breathing into the third eye. Back up to the sun, bringing it down with our breath to the crown, turning brilliant diamond white and indigo with E. Breathing into the crown. Back down to the root, digging deep into the earth, pulling the energy up with our breath. As we tone the word it opens, clears, turning deep dark red. Breathing into the root. Going back down to the center of the earth, pulling it up, and as you tone ooh, it turns bright orange and green at the sacral. Breathing in from the earth. Ooh. Again, we'll go back down to the center of the earth, pulling the breath up to the solar plexus. As we tone the word O, it turns bright sun gold yellow, opens and clears. Breathing in from the center of the earth. Again, shifting, pulling from the sun and the earth at the same time into the heart, opens, clears, turns bright pink and green with ah. Breathing in from both directions into the heart. This time pulling from only the sun down into the throat, turning beautiful ocean blue, opening and clearing with I. Breathing into the throat. Back up to the sun, bringing it down with our breath to the third eye, where it turns indigo, opens and clears with A. Breathing into the third eye. Back up to the sun, pulling it down with our breath to the crown, where it opens, clears, turns bright diamond white and purple with E. Breathing into the crown. Last set, back down to the root, Dig deep into the earth, bringing it up with your breath, where it turns deep dark red with ah. Breathing into the root. Back down to the center of the earth, pulling it up with our breath to the sacral, where it turns bright green and orange, opens and clears with ooh. Breathing in from the earth. Ooh. Breathing in from the center of the earth, pulling it up to the solar plexus, where it turns bright sun gold yellow, opens and clears with O. Breathing in from the earth. Shifting to pulling from the sun and the earth into the heart with our breath, where it opens, clears, turns bright pink and green with ah. Breathing into the heart. Back up to the sun, pulling down to our throat, turning bright ocean blue with I. Breathing into the throat. Breathing in from the sun, pulling it down to our third eye, turning indigo, opening and clearing with A. Breathing in. Back up to the sun, pulling it down to our crown, where it turns bright diamond white and purple, opens and clears with E. Breathing in from the sun. And taking a moment or two to visualize what your aura and your chakra looks like, to feel what your body feels like. Just allow yourself to receive this sound and for it to go wherever it needs to go during this sound channeling.
Thank you so very much, Luna.
You're welcome.
Absolutely phenomenal. I loved it, even online. Even online, I tell you. Oh my goodness gracious, I got to get myself a little bit. So just take a couple minutes. We're going to be doing some question and answering. Any questions, all you have to do is type it onto Reiki Studio. Just where you see us right now live, you could type little questions and we will answer them if we can. That was just a wonderful experience. I'm still trying to land on ground a little bit here. The experience, our inner voice, you know, it's been quite a few, I gotta admit, Luna, it's been a little bit of time for me to do my own, you know, chakra toning, and it's so powerful. And it clears me out the first time around. It kind of like, I felt the density in my chakras, you know what I mean? And then the next round, it kind of like loosened it up a little bit. And then by the third time, I was singing. I was singing choice. It was absolutely phenomenal. And the channeling afterwards, it was beautiful. It brought me back to your place when you would channel in front of us and stuff. So absolutely phenomenal. Love it. Oh my goodness gracious. The power of our voices, guys. We have these instruments. We don't have to buy anything, but we can, and they can enhance things too. So it's just the power, work at it and see how you feel, and find maybe a place you can always replay this and do this at a place. Maybe if you have a lot of people in your house right now, you didn't realize this was really going to happen like this. You know, right? You can replay it. And when you replay it, you'll be able to go through this with Luna, and you could always get a hold of her too. I'm trying to get her to maybe do a little bit more online, you know? So, it was phenomenal.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're always welcome. Welcome. So next we're going to look, I asked Dana from our last episode, we were talking about a lot of tools. We were talking about our inner tools with toning and chanting, and we just experienced that now. And there's also outer tools that we use. You saw Luna do the crystal bowls, and they each have a different frequency. And you'll see a lot of instruments like that have different frequencies. So there's a lot of them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different kind of bowls you could choose from. And they all help resonate with your body's biorhythms and all the different sounds it makes. We're like a symphony. There's not just one sound we make. And so a lot of things do interfere and react toward us. And so sound is one of those wonderful things. And so I asked Dana, she knows a lot about tuning forks. Tuning forks, I have one pair, and mine's a grounder, but I love them. I met my first Karuna Reiki teacher, had a kind of like a PhD in and tuning forks, and she put like a Pluto by my ear, and it just rocked my world. And I'll never forget how many different things you could use with tuning forks. So we're going to ask Ms. Dana to come on and talk a little bit about tuning forks, and she's going to show you a little how she's a practitioner at it and how she works with them. And then if you want to, please write some questions down below about anything about sacred sounds or sound healing or anything like that, and we will answer them. Hello, Dana. Let's unmute ya.
There we go.
There we go.
Hey, how are you? God, that was beautiful, Luna. Thank you. That was awesome. I needed that. I'm always the giver, not on the receiving end. So that's nice to be on the other end for a change. So what I'm going to do today is just show y'all how to use your tuning forks. A lot of people have bought these things and get them home. Okay, so now we got them. What do we do with them? So I'm just going to get on up here and show y'all what to do with these things, okay? So this is your tuning fork. Can y'all see me? I got my little man here to show you what to do and how to do it. This is my video's not all that, but this is your tuning fork. Mine are color coordinated with each chakra, so that's kind of nice, but it doesn't matter if yours are color coordinated or not. You're always going to start with your root chakra when you're doing your tuning forks, because that's where all of our problems start at birth. That's our first fight or flight reflexes, is our root chakra. So we're going to start with a tuning fork. And when you have your tuning fork, you're going to need something. This is like a hockey puck, and that's what can you hear it? So when you do that, what you want to do is you're going to start and put it up to their ear and let their body adjust to that frequency. And even though we can't physically hear it, if you put it up close to your ear, you can still hear it. So you're going to carry that sound over to the other side and let them adjust both sides, the right and left hemisphere of the body. And then after you do that for a little bit, you're going to bring the root chakra down, and you're going to cross the back where your root chakra's at 3 passes. And it's going to take you a little while because, like I said, when you tune these forks, it takes some time for it to quit vibrating, and you can always stick it to your ear and you can still hear it, even though when it's down here, you don't hear anything. So then you're going to come around to the front and you're going to pass them 3 times on the front. And then you would go to your next, and the root chakra is going to be your tuning fork that's at 396 hertz. And what you're working on with your root chakra is going to be your fight or flight, your I'm okay with the world. If you have problems, you want to, if you're hibernating in the corner and don't want to have anything to do with anybody, you need to be grounded, and this is your grounded. So that's your 396 hertz. It's your root chakra. And so the next one that you're going to get is your sacral chakra. My mind went blank. Your sacral chakra. And that's going to be 417 hertz. And what you want to do is you want to adjust their body. So you're going to go back. Where did I put my thing? I don't know. You can just ding it on anything. I use my knee a lot. Bring it here. Ding. Let them get adjusted to that side. Bring it over. Do the other side. And then what you want to do next is you want to ding these both at the same time. And you want to combine that sound. So you're bringing the root up to the sacral chakra. So you're going to ding them both. So you're going to have a combination of the two hertz together. And you kind of want to weave them. It's going to look like this, weaving that sound in and out and bringing the root up to connect to the sacral. Okay. And then when you finish that, you want to do the same thing with your sacral. You're going to ding it and just run it across there 3 times. But it's going to be longer than this, you know, when you're doing it yourself. And you want to run it across the back 3 times. Then you're going to go to the next one. And this one is your 417 hertz. And that's your social mechanisms that you have. If you're social with people, not social with people, that's your sexual desires. If you don't want to have sex, if you want to have too much sex, wherever that is, if you need to work on that. It's also going to be your creative. How are you good at creating what you want in your life? Not just creating a master art piece, creating anything, creating a happy home, creating a new higher bank account. All these things, your desires, your lust, your wants, they're coming from this area. And so we want to use this to bring about change in our life. So the 417 hertz is working on change in your life. And then next we're going to go to the 428, which is going to be your solar plex. So you're going to want to ding that and put it in their ear. You always want to walk it over the top of the head and bring it to the other side. Let both right and left hemispheres of the brain get adjusted to that sound. And then you're going to take your 417 and your 528 and ding them both at the same time. And you're going to bring those two together in a motion like this. And then you're going to leave that at the solar plex, the yellow one, which is your 428 hertz. And then your 428 is your love frequency. You know, are you mad at your old man? Are you happy with your old man? Or your girlfriend or whoever it may be, you know. This helps reduce stress and bring harmony into your life, confidence. So these are the things that we're going to, this is the me section, not the me, I'm a mommy, just the me, just you personally. And so this is going to help bring confidence and self-esteem into your life. And you're going to bring that through there. You're going to pass 3 times, much slower than I'm doing when you're doing it at home, of course. You're going to want to do it on the back side. Pass it 3 times. And then next, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the 639. Yeah, the heart, which is your green. Some of them not green, some of them are. So ding your, put it in there. And I always like to go around the back of my people. I don't like to really walk in front of them when I'm doing this because sometimes the shadows get in their eyes from the light and it changes their concentration. And we want them just concentrating on this noise for this moment in time. So then you're going to combine them and bring that up to the heart chakra and leave that on the heart chakra. And then you're going to pass the heart chakra 3 times. But we're going to say this person, son was hurt, broke his leg or something. So they're having a hard time because they're the mom and they felt like they shouldn't have been watching him better and he wouldn't have broke his leg. So we're going to go across the heart chakra maybe 6 times or 9 times because that's what I'm feeling, a heartache today. So we're going to give it a little extra love when you're going through there. And come around to the back. Sometimes you have to keep dinging. A lot of times, if you're really sensitive to vibration, you can feel it in your fingers when it quits vibrating. And the next one that you should have should be your 741 hertz. And that's going to be your blue, your throat chakra. This is your problem solving area. Do you have the strength to say and do what you need to do to solve the problems in your life? Well, first we got to do their ears. Get them used to that sound. See, that's still ringing. I don't know. Can you hear it? I'm not sure with my speaker. Do them both together, and you would just weave that sound in and out so that you're bringing that straight up to there. And then the next one is going to be the 852 hertz, which would be your third eye. You just put it on there, let them listen to it for a little bit. And you would probably do this a good 30, 45 seconds on each side of the ear, maybe a minute, if you could make it, if you can hear it that long. And then chime them both together, bring that up. And when you're doing this with your clients, it looks like this. But the sound that it makes is so beautiful when the two are in frequency together. It's just, oh man, can't believe how beautiful it is. And then the 430, this is your miracle tone. This is going to help you. And you're just going to go through there. And this helps the human mind to shut down a little bit and kind of get in touch with the unconscious mind to help you on your awakening journey. And this helps guide you as your intuition, your, so, but that's how you use a tuning fork. And then in the end, I like to take my green one, which is the heart chakra, because it's your love. And I just kind of go, start at the feet, which would be planted on the floor, and just surround the body, surround the whole body with love. And you're saying great intentions, love you, you have confidence, you're a wonderful person. You're thinking these things in your mind while you're helping this person heal. And they're so relaxed when you're doing this. They're just in la. They're like, oh. All my friends when I do them, they're like, oh my gosh, when you bring the two together, it just puts me there. It just makes me go there. So it's an awesome instrument to use on your healing journey. You can use them on yourself. You can use them on other people. You can use them. You can take them. Oh, I'm sorry. But that's it. That's your tuning fork. And that's all there is to it. You just take something, tap that sucker on there like that, and it will make that sound. And it's wonderful. I love it. I love my tuning forks. These tuning forks that are shaped like this are for your aura. They're for your aura around your body. And the reason we work with the aura around the body, because the breath that we breathe in is the breath that's in our aura. And so we want to clean that aura around the body. And that's what these type of tuning forks work with your aura. And they help you to be able to breathe in what you need to breathe clean, away from all the craziness on the outside world. This helps to clear your little spear, like Luna was saying, inside that straw, your little love spear. This is cleaning your love spear. And then once you get good with those, you can get tuning forks that work like this, that look like this. They're weighted tuning forks, and they're to work with you actually physically on the body. So you would, you know, touch these and feel the vibration inside the body. So it's working in a whole, this is interior tuning forks, where the ones I showed you today are exterior tuning forks. But you would want to study these to begin with before you start playing with the weighted ones, because you don't want to be doing the wrong thing to the wrong parts of your body with the wrong frequencies. But most of it, it's going to go where it needs to go. Your body is so amazing. There's really no wrong way to do it. This is just one way that you can do it, and a quick, easy way to show you how to do it. So I hope that helps a little bit, Kathy.
Oh,
Thank you for having me. Y'all are so sweet. Merry Christmas.
thank you, Dana. That was great. I loved it. I loved it very much. So this is a time that if we have any questions, you could just write them down. If any panelists have any questions coming up or anything like that, just you can speak them out. If you guys want to, when we do a question, you guys want to answer, just speak up. I do have a few questions. One was, is there any scientific evidence that listening to meditative music increases your well-being?
Hey, Kathy. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one. The effect of singing bowls, gongs, and chimes has been studied scientifically and has been proven to lessen pain and increase overall well-being. So I'll talk just a minute about that. One review that kind of reviewed all the different studies that are out there at that time indicates that music interventions have behavioral and beneficial effects on anxiety, pain, fatigue, and quality of life with people that have cancer. So those are the people that they studied with that one. It also has an effect on heart rate, respiratory rate, and blood pressure. In another study, singing bowls were used for emotional healing with high-risk youth as part of what was termed a visualization method, and they tested different visualization methods for these at-risk youth to use, and they determined that using the singing bowls in conjunction with the visualization was the best way to go. So the bowls were used in a psychotherapy model combining deep breathing, visualization, and a loving kindness meditation. And it was reported that this combination of methods was a good catalyst for emotional and psychological healing for those at-risk youth. And a third one I'll just touch on quick, but I like this one because this one was done in San Diego, California area where I used to live. Part of it was done at a church I used to go to at Seaside Center for Spiritual Living in Encinitas, and the Chopra Center for Wellbeing in Carlsbad, Deepak Chopra Center, was part of it, and also the California Institute for Human Science. And they got their study approved by University of California, San Diego Institutional Review Board. So what they did was they took 62 people aged 21 to 77, and they did between 30 and 80 Tibetan bowls, singing bowls, 2 to 3 crystal bowls, and 2 to 6 gongs with these people, depending on how many people were in each group. And the participants completed standardized questionnaires before and after the meditation. And we won't go into what all the questionnaires were, but they're looking at tension, anger, confusion, depression, fatigue, vigor and energy, faith and spirituality. So they improved that all the negatives like the tension, anger, confusion, fatigue, all those went down, and all the positives went up. So faith, spirituality, vigor, all those went up significantly. And the it's like the 20s to 40s range had the biggest change, and the older people had change, but they all the groups had positive change. So it is out there, and there's a whole field of music therapy that professional counselors can get trained as music therapists, licensed as music therapists. So it is out there that this is scientific. So if people think you're too woo-woo, you can just point to some of these studies and say, hey, it's out there. And I won't go into too much of this. I don't know if you can see this, but I don't have my screen up here. Okay. I don't know if you can see this book. No, it's not coming out very well. But there's different books you can look at with this too. This is The Mysticism of Sound and Music by Hazrat Inayat Khan. And he goes into a lot of the spiritual aspects of what we've been talking about. And this other one is Traveling the Sacred Sound Current by Deborah Van Dyke, and it also comes with a CD. So that one shows up a little bit. So going into deeper teaching with what Luna was doing and what Dana was doing, all those resources are out there.
That's awesome. Now, I got a question. Maybe you can answer it. Is that, or somebody can answer it. Is there a difference between like listening to the sound of music compared to going to Megadeth concert? You know what I mean? Is there like a difference of that for our body,
Well, me being an old rocker and musician, I'll comment on that one. It's not the type of music or the tempo, because like shamanic drumming is usually pretty fast tempo, over 200 beats a minute, what they do, most of it. It's the intention and the energy of the people. So you can have an upbeat hard rock song that's happy, joyful, put the top down, crank up the music, or you can have a hateful death metal song, crank it up, and that's a whole different intention and energy.
Right.
So there's that myth that it has to be classical or it has to be meditative to be beneficial. But I think we got to look beyond that and look at the intention and the frequency and the energy of who's doing it, what's behind it. And that'll tell you what effect it'll have.
Yeah, that makes sense. Your attention's everything. It directs everything. Everything.
Right.
Everything. Did anybody else that wanted to speak on those things? Any other questions? I think Cass, Cass, come on over. You got to unmute though. There you go.
Aha, there we are.
Thank you.
So I actually have two questions. Before I ask anything, thank you, Luna and Dana as well. That was just wonderful. I myself am not familiar with sound healing, and that was just, you broke me in. That was just wonderful. My first question, I'll keep it quick. Is it possible to do a sound healing on yourself using the different instruments? So I know, Dana, you spoke about the tuning forks and for the different chakras and how to, use that. Is, I guess it'd be kind of a little awkward, but is it possible to use to do a self-healing using the tuning forks? And Luna, if you don't mind, after Dana answers, I'd like to know from your perspective as well.
Yeah, Cass, you can absolutely do the tuning forks on yourself. You just get that back area the best you can and do the front, So anything sound healing you can do for yourself. We can all do all of these things. We're so amazing. All of us are so amazing. It's just getting out there and learning the things that we can do for ourselves, because especially here, I don't know a lot about Canada where you're at, but we're not taught these things at young ages. And unless it's around somebody in your family and they say, oh, you got the crazy old grandma that does the rocks and tuning forks, and they're really not, like my grandchild is adjusted to that. She thinks that's normal. But when I was growing up, I didn't know about these things. I did, it was not something, it's something I had to grow into in life. And it just came, it was brought to me. That's the way I feel about it. But as more of us learn these things and we spread it, we're teaching our youth to do these things to help heal themselves, because we all need to work on healing, especially in this year. This has been the craziest year. So yes, you absolutely can use the tuning forks. Luna, go ahead with the bowls. I know you can use them too.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in empowerment and self-empowerment. You can definitely use any of the tools on yourself. And I think in talking about the children, if you look at kids, it's only really adults that think they can't. Kids will start making a noise and rocking around to balance themselves, or they'll pick up a rock, or they're very natural and do it intuitively without even thinking about it. It's only as adults that I think we kind of lose that. So yeah, I think we've been conditioned by society to think we can't do it for ourselves. We definitely can, but it can be really fun to have someone else do it for you too.
Awesome. Kathy, do I have time for one more question?
You certainly do. Please
Cool,
do.
because I'm going to try and not mess up the wording because it's kind of a long one. So I'll just read what I have here. As music in general is known to evoke both a physical and or emotional response, in your opinion, and this is to anyone, would this be due to the certain instruments used or specific key the song is played or sung, in which would then speak to a specific chakra or chakras? So is there a big correlation between, I was telling Kathy earlier, I looked up, there's actually like the top 5 songs that are out there that actually evoke a physical or emotional response. And just as an example, number 3 is Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. So does that tie in with the sounds that we're using, you know, per chakra, so to speak? What do you guys, what's your opinion on that, guys?
I think it's multifaceted. I think you have the tones of the actual music, you have the intention in which the artist created it being the biggest one. And then we've all have so many different associations to words and sounds and things that have developed over time. Much like with smell, you can smell something and it brings you back to a previous time. Sound is the same way. So I think it's all of the above that creates it. You know,
Awesome.
We're hearing our mother's heartbeat from when we're in the womb, or we feel it if we can't hear. Sound and vibration is such a powerful connection to everything, to all of life.
Cool.
But there is, kind of go a little bit further with that. The note C, anything with the note C is going to help in your root chakra area. The note D is going to help in your sacral chakra area. The note E is going to help in your solar plexus, your yellow area, right through here. And green is G. Green is going to be the note F through your heart area. Anything that's affecting those organs in through that area is going to be the note F. And then your throat area is going to be the note G. And then up here, your crown intuitive is A. I have to think about it for a minute. A. So that's your A up here. And then there are different instruments affect us too, you know, like string instruments. I kind of went through this a little bit before. String instruments help with the body with a sense of compassion and the ability to sacrifice and bring about a sense of gratitude. And then if you listen to the piano, it kind of harmonizes the mind and helps us clear the mind. And then the organ is going to clear the spine. It's going to go through your spine and get that energy flowing in your spine. That's kind of like when you go to church and they play those old organs. You can feel it moving. You can feel that energy moving in the house, you know. And then the wind instruments are going to be for your respiratory system, but they are more, you would need to play them because you're building up the strength in your lungs, like play the clarinet or the flute or even a harmonica, anything like that. And then the percussion instruments, they're going to affect your the blood flow in your body, and they help treat the liver also, the percussion instruments. So that might help you a little bit too there.
Cool. Dana, if I could rewind just a little bit, you were saying the different notes for the different chakras. The note A, is that for the crown and the third eye, or did I miss one?
A is for the crown. The
Okay.
third eye, this is G.
Okay, I missed one. Then what's throat?
Oh,
I think
I
it's
have-
G,
one, too.
I think it's GAB.
Is that
G
what it
for
is?
A for third eye and B for crown.
Yeah, it may be. Yeah, that sounds right.
Thank you.
Would anybody like to add anything before we wrap up? A couple people have spoke. Thanks, Vicky, Kim, Laura, Dana, Christine, Leslie. A couple people said on there that we will go back to the feed and answer any questions if you guys have any extra ones. A lot of people were, Leslie was talking about adding, the forks, tuning forks into a practice. That would be a nice thing. Sound is a great thing to add into your Reiki practice. I know that I always have bells out there. If I know somebody needs a metal sound, I have drums, I have singing bowls, I have one pair of tuning forks, but I mean, it's like I could be right beside somebody and have nothing. And I know they need a tune and I can snap my fingers and put Reiki into it. I could go, I can make sounds with my mouth. I could do whatever it needs that I feel that I'm giving them good intentions and I'm trying to help them out, and put it into your practice. So you could buy a lot of things or you could just use your own. You could tone and chant sacred sounds all the time. We do that with Karuna Reiki, we tone and chant. So it's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. Do you guys want to add anything else?
I had a quick question. Luna, when you were doing your toning, did you do specific notes for the different energy centers?
When I do a chakra toning, I just start at the lowest note and I work my way up. But when I'm doing a session on someone, I definitely focus on the specific notes for specific chakras.
Okay.
But I've found that sometimes when we try to make a very specific note for a chakra, we get too much into the mental realm,
Right.
and we lose some of the intent behind it. We lose some of the intent and the clarity. So I tend to just do low and then go up.
Okay. Yeah, you seem to come back to some of the same ones for the different chakras.
Yeah.
So I just wondered, yeah. No, I'm thinking about shamanic things too, Kathy, where they'll use sounds and dance and
Yes.
all types of things with shamanic healing. So it's all coming from the same source of knowledge.
Yep.
Just
Sure.
different flavors.
Yep. It's a beautiful thing. So I hope everybody works with sound a little bit with themselves and create their own sound. You know what I mean? Work with your inner sound. You're also your inner sound that you hear. Sometimes people will hear singing bowls when they go within and they feel their inner sound, and it's a remarkable. Your inner sound's remarkable. So it's a symphony of love for you. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. It's going to be always the fourth Sunday, 6 p.m. and then the second Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will advertise it on Reiki Studio. We're going to start honoring the chakras. So I still got to figure out if I'm going to go to the root or go to the crown first, but I'm going to meditate on that and pray on that. And we're going to go into the chakras, and each month we're going to celebrate that chakra, and we're going to learn, what do you eat if you're having a bad, day? Well, where can you focus on? What needs help? You know what I mean? What can you encourage? The sacral, start dancing, be creative, open up that creative center, eat a lot of orange, kind of citrus fruits and things like that, open you up and bring some zest into your life. There's all these little different things that we could work with, the rocks, materials, and things like that. So we got a lot to go cover on each month. I hope my panelists will come on and talk about it. There's all these different little things that we can do. If somebody is feeling like they would like to join the panelist group, please do come and get a hold of me. There's a couple things that I ask you and we go over, and it's pretty simple and pretty easy to go work along with. So thank you everybody. And thank you Reiki Studio for having us and watching us. And we give so much love to you and support. And remember, your voice is inside, bring it out and celebrate. Much love to you.